tech for 23 years, and I quit my job at Meta because I realized that humans needed to evolve. Otherwise, it was over. It was over for us. And so I did the next logical thing, which is to become a yoga teacher. And now I'm really integrating the yoga and the tech together. So this is not going to be specifically just for AI. This is actually putting you back in control of your technology. And can you click on the slide so I can go to the next slide? All right. So first of all, what I want you to do is download these slides, because I have a bunch of templates that you're going to be able to leverage. This is not going to be some abstraction. You are going to be able to use what we do today in your real life. We've been hearing all this stuff about we need to leverage the things and bring out these things to the world. Well, this is it. This is the one meeting where you're going to actually learn how to do it. Did everyone get it? I have it again later. All right. So this objective here is to put you back in charge to maximize your agency and the gratitude. So agency and gratitude are the things that make us happy. And when we share our world, our purpose on digital platforms, it can allow us to have more gratitude. We can scale our gratitude. Not on the list today. We're not doing any doomer talk. We're not going to talk about rare earths or UBI. We're not going to have any worry, anxiety, stress, what ifs, or panic. Okay, just to make sure you guys all are ready for the next 17 minutes. We're going to learn how to use technology skillfully and joyfully. These are the two words. If you ever have a thought that's not about usefulness and joyfulness, what is the point of it? It doesn't help. Like, we need to just focus on what we can do. What can we do? So your digital influence, this is where you should focus. And if you feel comfortable, you can expand it, becoming more skillful with the tools. So I have an analogy for a table saw. Table saws are very powerful, but when you use them, you have to use them with skill, because people have lost a hand, an arm, a finger on a table saw. But it doesn't mean you don't use them. You use them for a purpose. When you go to use a table saw, you think very carefully about what it is you're trying to do. You measure twice, and you are very, very careful, and you're very mindful. But why would we think that technology is anything different than any other tool that we've ever built? And we've always learned, at least some of us, the ones who are here, or our ancestors, learned how to use those tools. And that's why we're here today. And I believe that we can continue to be skillful and learn how to use the tools. So you have to make a choice. And we all have a choice. There's so much choice in the world. So I'm going to give you some spectrums. You can decide not to become skillful about your use of technology. And there's two options on this. You can become scared and confused and an abstainer. You know who you are out there. And just like delete Facebook and delete Instagram, right? Uh-oh. We've got someone here. Okay, this is the expert guy. See, this guy is able to use technology skillfully. Thank you. I don't know what you did, but I appreciate you. The other thing is people who are not being skillful but are not abstaining, guess what happens to them? They get totally hacked. And we see this in our society. And I spent a lot of presentations that have been thrown away just talking about all the ills. Like, we can become so sick and distracted and ADHD and all the bad things, which we're not going to talk about because remember, useful and joyful. We can become a passive consumer, unproductive, just sitting duck, basically. And these people, I used to work at Facebook. These people are hiring the smartest engineers in the world to hack your brain. It is not, this is for real, and you have got to be careful, just like that table saw, super dangerous if you don't use it properly. Or you can use it skillfully. You can use it to bring your purpose, which Holly Woods, if you want to learn about finding your purpose, go read her book, the golden thread, you know? Find that purpose and use the tools skillfully. And maybe some of you, maybe you know who you are, you're creating the technology. I mean, good job, thank you so much. I don't do that anymore. I quit. Now I just teach yoga. But you can, if you do either of these, which are both beautiful, you can create powerful agency. You can bring your mission to the world with power. You can have purpose in the world, and you can scale your gratitude. And we could talk about that for a long time. But like, how is it that you bring your blessings to the world? So I'm going to give you 4 tools, and it's only been 6 minutes. Boom. 4 tools today, ladies and gentlemen, totally free. And I'm going to show you that QR code again so you can download this. And my goal is to give you things that you can use so there's no excuses for you. No more letting yourself get hacked. 4 tools. Number 1, the Tech Health Check. This is the most simple tool ever. What I want you to do at home, probably we won't have time to do it today, but make a little sheet of paper, working, not working. What's going well for you with your technology life? You know, there's something out there. You're knocking it out of the park. You're doing really well. And what is really messing you up, right? And this is the first step. It's just this awareness of how am I doing in these areas and what do I need to sort of understand more about? And I'm going to give you an example of this. So let's say you had a newsletter and it's gaining traction, right? You're doing that well. You're learning how to get it better and better. But you're spending too much time on Facebook, right? Who hasn't been there? So you can make a plan. You can schedule a time, 5 minutes on Facebook on Saturday, exactly 10 a.m., 5 minutes, it's done, right? And you turn off all your notifications, so you never get to know anyone who's doing something on Facebook that wants you to know about it. And then unfollow everyone but only 10 people. This is just an example. But really, believe me, my Facebook is amazing because I have created it that way. It does not give me anything I don't want to see. I have mastered that tool because I work there. But anyways, okay. So tool number 2. We are going to be having so much time for discussion. All right. I'm a product manager at heart. So this is your goals. So let's say you have some goals in the world. Anyone want to shout a goal? Let me hear it.
Shift the paradigm of education.
Well, that's huge. Shift the paradigm of education. So you could put that here. What are some technologies that could help you do that? Do you have any ideas? I know this is on the spot. Anyone else have an idea for helping her? Books! I like that. There's a lot of readers in this room. So anyone else have a goal they want to just shout out? Just because we actually are doing good on time, which... Ben, anything happening?
Oh, tons, but I'm a technical wizard, so I got it down.
See this? Another role model.
I have a goal.
Holly!
I'm launching a program this year.
Launching a program. So it's a goal. So what could she leverage? Does anyone know any tools? Brian? Brandon?
Yeah. I don't know. Tools like there's platforms, right? Online platforms that can connect people.
Absolutely.
Advertise on social media.
You could advertise. There you go, Holly. So let's look at an example. So let's say you wanted to self-publish a book, right? You can learn and explore Kindle self-publishing just to figure it out. See if this is something that's very valuable to you. You could build a community so you can start talking, sharing with other educators who are trying to raise consciousness education up, right? And start communicating what's working, what's not working. You could use Instagram to build an audience. So these are just some examples of someone who might have a mission and wants to bring it out into the world. And you're doing these things with thought and not just like randomly, like, I don't know, maybe I'll be hacked today, right? It's very important. All right, number 3, the tech company's development plan. Say that one 5 times fast. This one is your study plan. So there are things that you don't know right now. You need to learn these different tools, right? You want to publish your course. You got to think about monetization. Think about, does it have a community tool in it? Does it have abilities to share? Is there, whatever the thing is there a built-in audience that you can just market to so you don't have to do everything yourself? There's always going to be trade-offs. What percentage are they taking, right? So you want to learn about this, and you need to schedule time. So let's say there's 5 tools, Holly, that you're evaluating. You would say, tool number 1, what would you use it for? Why do you need it? How are you going to be using it? And then are you going to spend 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes a month, a week? How are you going to make these decisions? Let me show you an example. So let's say we want to get better at Instagram, which, by the way, there's a whole skill set to using Instagram, the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen. So you want to post excerpts from your upcoming book, right? So you have this book coming out. You've got to get excitement. So you want to build an audience. You want to study. This is, by the way, this is product placement right here. I made Integral Social Media. It's a whole, look at this, 5 minutes? I don't know what happened to time, guys. I don't believe in time. Whoa, okay. Yes. All right. So I have a 46-page PowerPoint class that I lead people through getting embodied using the chakras to find your why, and then you build a social media strategy based on that. So that's an example of you can learn how to do this, and you could take 30 minutes a week to get knowledgeable, to build a skill around how to use that table saw so you don't lose an arm. And then Kindle self-publishing, there's so many options. Do you want a hardcover or soft cover? Do you want it to be in color? I've written and published 8 books. I was going to say I don't know, this is not 8. 8 books on Kindle self-publishing. I even have a book called How to Write, Sell, and Publish Your Own Book or something like that. Because I go through it. But there's a lot there. You have to keep up on it. So take some time to learn about it. All right, final. This is the most important one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't take away anything else from today, you must never open up your device without your tech to-do list. I don't always do this, but I'm just telling you, if I was smart, this is what I would do. Because as soon as you open that little computer, it's going to hack you. Has anyone ever opened up your little computer and then 20 minutes went by and you're like, what just happened? Yeah? What could you have been doing to make the world a better place in that time? Huh? That's your special time. We have so little time on this planet. Stop being hacked. All right, you guys ready for the most important, powerful tool? Yes? Jose?
Yes.
All right. This is so important. You've got to write down a list of the things you're going to do on your computer or your little computer or your medium computer. And you've got to put a time limit. I swear to you, if you don't have a time limit, time will fly away and your life will be gone and you'll be in the next dimension or whatever, you believe. Your little time on earth will be over. So don't let it happen. Only you can save yourself from your little computer. All right, so let's give some examples. What? You have to write an email to Fred. Why? Fred needs to know about the plans for the weekend. You're going to give yourself exactly 6 minutes. And I recommend a very old-fashioned watch, or I use timers all over my house all the time. I'm an ENFP, guys. Time is a construct for me. So I have to use the tools to make myself focus and do the work. 6 minutes. How long could you make that last? You could spend hours writing an email to Fred, literally hours. And if you're really pro tip, which we don't have time for today, you would use a piece of paper to write some bullet points about what you want to tell Fred on paper, because when you pick up your device or you open the laptop, it's going to narrow your focus and you're actually going to forget about 7 things you forgot to tell Fred. And he's going to be really angry. Okay, next is read the email from Susan. She shared some ideas for her book. You better put a time limit, because what's going to happen is Susan's going to mention 5 things you're going to go start researching. And then you're going to Google and you're going to be on Wikipedia. And oh my gosh, Wikipedia, have you been there? It's amazing. You could be there forever and best day ever. But your life is over. Your life is over, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So what could you accomplish if you were skillful at technology? Anyone want to share? Anyone? Holly.
You could write a book,
You could write a book.
launch a program.
What is your program about?
I just spoke about it. It's called While Beyonder. It's reclaiming
There you go. Holly is bringing this incredible purpose to the world because she's learning how to get the tools and get them out there. She's not being afraid. Anyone else? What other purposes we haven't heard about yet? Yes.
So I'd also like to engage in an act of shameless self-promotion.
Yes, please. This is your chance.
Which is, we showed a little bit back about self-publishing on Kindle. It's actually very difficult to edit and have a critical distance of your own work. So editors are awesome. I'm an editor. You can come talk to me about
Please.
it.
This is it.
A lot of us now know also how to work with Kindle and other.
See, she's built up her skills.
I did.
She did, and we can appreciate that. All right, last but not least, please download these slides. Do not let that little or big computer hack your brain. Please take your life back. I'm Bette Bolhofer. I've been your hostess today. Thank you. I don't think I have. Oh, yeah. Download these. Thank you so much, and I'll be here all day. Thanks.
Thank you, Bette.
Do we have time for questions?
Yes, 5 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, you.
Maybe this is a longer conversation, but how do you use the chakras in relationship to social media?
I wanted to go over that so much. But I'll just tell you the really fast answer is if you go to social media without being grounded, your root chakra, you are going to be needy. And no one wants that. It's very icky and people will reject you. But if you go to social media with a groundedness, then you're going to come across in a different way. So I go through all the chakras, and I also have a deep dive into each of the levels of the spiral and the shadow and how it's done well, and I give examples. So yeah, my slides are like top notch. Okay, I'm not a humble person. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, and the other thing is your uniqueness is your sacral, and you have to be unique on the internet. You cannot be another person just like the other person. Like, no one wants that. You have to be so unique, so you got to get into your sacral, which is a ton of deep work, right? And then what I really wanted to do, if I had about another 20 minutes, which I tried to bribe someone, but I didn't get it, is the heart chakra. Did you know that the tools come from your heart chakra? So when we work from our heart, it goes down to the hands. The hands use the tools. So when we have the compassion, we're coming from the heart, we can build skillfulness into our hands and build out the things that we want. But I mean, have you ever seen someone having a heart attack and you didn't know CPR? Right? We have to have skills. We can't just sit there and be like, oh, I have compassion for you. You need to have the skills to save the person, right? I'm a CPR trained person because I want to have the skills to do the good things. Anyways, that's just a few examples, and you can imagine all the rest of them.
I think that moth is a micro drone.
It's here to spy on me from Facebook.
What was the book you mentioned, The Golden
Thread. Holly has a book called The Golden Thread, which is about your purpose. Because if you don't have a purpose, ladies and gentlemen, you will just be hacked.
Is there an audiobook?
Not yet. It's only 4 years old. I mean, really.
We need to get her an audiobook. All right, more questions. More questions.
So you're saying before I turn my device on, I should have this list. But how do you make the list?
On paper.
On paper? Or
You
in
need
my
to
head?
find something. No, do not put it in your head because your brain will change. I have so many stories. One of them is of picking up a hammer. I hammered a nail. I walked back to my toolbox and I looked for something. I'm looking and I realized the hammer narrowed my focus to look for nails. When you pick up the device, you have been hacked. So you have to use your brain to hack the hackers. You need to use paper. I recommend going outside and under a wet redwood tree.
All right.
All right, back to you, whoever. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Wow, yes.
I needed to hear that.
I kept it real basic.